Welcome back. It's Cameron Feeling on CRTV. A big thanks to Eleanor Bisong for the report on the Fundi market. It's time for us to talk about food supplements with a producer and a marketer. Ebong Dustin, you're welcome.
Thanks very much.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay. We're happy to have you here because you have quite an interesting story that has to do with the help of food supplements in your life. Yeah. Now, before we get into the details, what are food supplements?
Yes, actually, generally our body, we have daily needs of supplements which each and every one of us need to obtain. You know, the best way to obtain these actually are from the foods we're eating. But because, of course, we have poor ways of feeding ourselves today with fast foods here and there, which doesn't meet up with our daily requirements.
Okay.
So therefore, food supplements come now to complement what is lacking, the gap in what is lacking in our daily consumption. So
you could either take it naturally or you could take food supplements.
Exactly.
Now, what are the different types of these supplements?
Yes, actually, if you look at it, you have, first of all, natural supplements, okay, which can all be gotten from foods and drinks naturally. And then you also have transformed supplements, which are in two ways. One are whole foods. The other mostly are simply minerals, specific mineral intake. Like you may have just calcium, you may just have iron, you may just have, but the whole foods are actually, it's a food that contains several of these minerals, all of the minerals your body requires, and even more. Yeah.
Let's look at the ingredients. How do the ingredients of the food supplements found in Cameroon differ from the ones we import from out of the country?
Yes, actually, Cameroon is found in a tropical country. So generally, we have very unique tropical plants right here in Cameroon where we are, which are not found maybe in Asia, in Europe, or in the US. So most of the supplements made out there, of course, which are dependent on their own ingredients, will probably be different because of the source of the ingredients, which are mostly things that are available for them. So, but then because, of course, we're interconnected in the world, we do supply a lot of the things right here. You know, we export so much.
And you know what's interesting? Sometimes we export and then it's imported to us again.
Good, that's
transformed
it. So,
and
that's
imported.
it. So we export so much and it's transformed and then sent back to us with very exorbitant prices.
Now, but here we do make our own food supplements. What are some of the ingredients we use to make them?
Yes, we use everything plant, you know, from the roots, leaves, fruits.
Maybe you give examples so we know what kind of.
Okay, for example, I take cloves.
Yes.
Clove actually is a spice. Okay, but if you look at clove, it's actually a superfood which can do so much. For example, it has antibacterial, antifungal properties. Cloves alone is excellent in managing things like sexual weakness in men, in managing things like vaginal odor in women. Yeah.
So when you talk about cloves, let's break it down again. We're talking about things like garlic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the viewer can understand what you're talking about because it could get tricky.
Exactly.
And then I know a little bit about Bitterleaf being helpful. How is that?
Bitterleaf is magical. It's not just being helpful.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of research has been done on Bitterleaf before. If you look at it, Nigeria had even been one of the first guys who advanced in the research on what Bitterleaf can do on our health. But unfortunately for us, we have remained so much in consuming Bitterleaf so much for our soup, which is good, of course. But the problem there is we remove the bitter content of Bitterleaf, that's where the health lies, you know, in doing our soup. So you see, Americans have been smart. You know, a company in the US, which is in food supplement, actually went ahead to convert Bitterleaf into capsules because the difficulty in consuming Bitterleaf daily as a supplement with what we have is naturally is because it's very bitter. It's not convenient, you know. So these guys were smart to produce a bottle of Bitterleaf where 60 capsules is sold for over $34. There in the US, that's about 20. When it's imported here to us, we have it for about 30,000 francs. So 60 capsules.
Yes.
So it's exorbitant. But this Bitterleaf, they don't have it. It's a tropical food.
You know what's interesting in your stories? You looked at all of these things and you decided to step right in and produce food supplements made right here in Cameroon. But that did not just come from you wanting to make money. It came from a deep personal experience. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so actually to begin with, when I left to study from Europe in 2012, I returned home to get into agriculture.
Okay.
I wanted to be an agripreneur. That's why I came back. Because I remember harvesting pomme de France in a farm in Belgium. And then I was talking with the farmer. He's just in a 5-hectare farm. But he could pay us harvesting very comfortable sums.
Yeah.
And he could live with his family on a 5-hectare farm. You know, I said, no, there is no need. I should be, I have excess of hectares in Cameroon, so I should get back. So normally, coming back to Cameroon, I said, but I should have an experience working with multinationals. You know, how they manage major companies.
Yes.
Because if I want to run a business, I want to see it big tomorrow.
That's true.
So I pick up a job with one international as a people and operations manager. But my second year of operations there, I finally realized I had blood pressure. You know, that was really chronic. It was 18, 19, that was excessive.
Very high.
Hardly going down. You know, I had excellent, I could go to the best hospitals because my company was taking care of 100% of my health. So I could pay the best doctors in Yaoundé. But I was terribly staying on 18. You know, it was so much pain for me. And then that graduated later on to heart failure, which actually the doctor said was chronic heart failure. So, in fact, I couldn't stand like I couldn't, you know.
You tried every form of conventional medicine?
Yes, I went through the best hospitals like Sichong, you know, and then I couldn't really have, in fact, it was like my system was getting worse. So I had to look for alternative. So when I got to the world of supplements, I was actually a consumer to help me.
Yeah.
You know, I was consuming imported supplements. But it was really damn expensive. My companies will not pay for it. They don't pay for supplements. You know, they pay for prescription medicine.
Yeah.
So I had to pay that from my pockets. And it was damn expensive. So I became a distributor so I could have discounts. But then it couldn't really help it. So I decided to do research into supplements.
Yeah.
You know, how do we convert our natural, we have so much nature around us. How do we convert that nature into something that can help us? And of course, that is how I came on the research of Bitterleaf capsules. And to tell you the truth, if I'm here, standing here today, talking this strong,
yes, clearly,
it's thanks to Bitterleaf capsules. It's
and now you've gone back to the hospital, tested, and you're healthy now.
Yes.
You're back in pink of health.
Yes. My doctor even is very surprised because it's like, but what happened? You know, this man who has been on 18, 19, blood pressure level now is on 12. Normal, after like 7 years, you know.
Okay, so Ebong Dustin, you're here to share your experience and also remind us that food supplements are an option that we should be willing to take. But then if you want some more information about his story, what he does and how to get what he does, then you should visit his Facebook page. Where can they visit?
Yes, you can visit Nyanga Foods. When you Google Nyanga Foods, you land on my Facebook page.
Which is Ebong Dustin.
Yes, my Facebook page is Ebong Dustin, which you can still get me there.
Okay.
Or you can get to the page where I dedicated for the production of supplements, which is Nyanga Foods.
All right. Well, thank you again for passing by and sharing your story with us. It's time for us to move on to the second part of the program.